Okay, here we are again. I can't seem to get away from this. In any event, subject of this DVD or this lesson here, I'm intending to show you some possible remedies that could be used in the event that another party goes into dishonor on public policy, for instance, to refuse to settle an account when it's been accepted and returned. Again, people constantly ask, what do you do when you accept something, you send it back to them, and they don't settle the account? And for the most part, it goes on the basis of what I learned years ago. One of the comments was made by one of the brethren. He said, you won't see any change until you see the money move. He said, make the money move and you'll see all kinds of things happening. Well, I've experienced that in my time in commerce. Seems like people really get upset when they start to lose money and so forth. And so anyway, it's a great motivating factor in any way. Greed really seems to be a great motivating factor for some people. So anyway, in this discussion, this lesson here, after I've had a chance to perhaps set the scene a little bit for you, to set up the stage, then I intend to show, or at least give reference to, three areas that we have talked about in the past in regards to remedies that could be utilized to solve a problem, whereas someone has a dishonored an acceptance. But before I start getting too deep into that, there's a court case here. I want to read you part of it. I found it on the internet. The case was Saunders versus Vautier, and it was decided in 1841. And it's an important case. So I'll read quickly through it, not to belabor it. But anyway, the rule in that case is a rule of equity, which provides that if all the beneficiaries of a trust are of adult age and under no disability, the beneficiaries may require the trustee to transfer the legal estate to them and thereby terminate the trust. The rule has been repeatedly affirmed in common law jurisdictions. Although the rule is most often exercised where there is a sole trustee holding the trust fund on a bare trust for a sole beneficiary, the rule is not limited to those circumstances. However, if there is more than one beneficiary, then all of them need to be adults and without any disabilities. There are a number of reasons why the beneficiaries may elect to do this. In this Saunders versus Vautier, the accumulation trusts were to continue until the beneficiary was 25, and the beneficiary wished to terminate the accumulation. Similarly, if the trusts are held for a tenant, or if the trusts are held for a tenant for life, and then for the benefit of a remainder man, both tenant for life and remainder man may decide to terminate the trust and obtain the capital immediately, and agree partition of the funds between them. This situation often occurs where changes in the revenue laws means that upon the death of the tenant for life, the trust fund may be subject to inheritance tax in a way that was not envisioned when the trust fund was originally set up. It has also been held that the rule in Saunders v. Vautier also applies to discretionary trust as well as fixed trust. However, some caution is in order, as that decision was made at a time when the law was understood to require that a valid discretionary trust need be able to draw up a complete list of the beneficiaries of the trust in order to be valid. Subsequent to the decision of the House of Lords in McPhail versus Dolton, 1971, this is no longer the appropriate test, and accordingly it may be that not all discretionary trusts are capable of being terminated by the beneficiaries under the rule. Then it goes on to say, where the beneficiaries are sui juris, and between them absolutely entitled to the trust property, they may require the trust to end the trust and distribute the funds as the beneficiary agrees, as the beneficiaries agree. Now that last sentence down there, when the beneficiaries are all sui juris, now what does that mean? Well, in reality it means that the party is not bound by any debt. They're free of debt. So where all the beneficiaries are all sui juris and between them absolutely entitled to the trust property, they may require the trustees to end the trust and distribute the funds to the beneficiaries. Now the reason I read that to you, you can this by the way is included. If you'll look on your DVD that you have there, these documents are all on there. If you want to download them and print them so you can follow along with the transcript, that'd be okay. Matter of fact, that's probably a pretty good idea. But anyway, I wanted to read this this court case to you here so you can understand certain things.